Ever stood in a kitchen that clearly cost a fortune, but you couldn't point to the one thing they actually spent big on? The line between cheap-looking and custom-looking almost never comes down to the cabinets or the worktop. It comes down to a handful of tiny, cheap decisions most people never think about. Stick around for number 1. It's a fix that costs about £3. I check for it in every single home I walk into, and it's usually the real reason a kitchen feels off, even when everything else looks great. Let's get straight into it. Number 8. Your light switch plates are giving you away. Start here, because this is the one that makes people wince a little once they notice it. And I point it out in almost every job I do. Go look at your switch plates right now. White plastic? Slightly yellowed? Chipped at a corner? Those weren't chosen. They were bought in bulk by the builder for pennies apiece and bolted on before you ever moved in. And they've been quietly telling everyone who walks in that nobody's actually designed this room. Here's why they matter more than people think. Switch plates are one of the first things you physically touch entering a kitchen, and they sit right beside your paint, your splashback, your trim. If they're the wrong shade of white, cracked, or just obviously generic, they pull the whole area down with them, like an otherwise sharp outfit ruined by scruffy trainers. The fix couldn't be simpler. Swap them for brushed nickel, matte black, or warm brass to match your other hardware. You're looking at 2 to 4 pounds a plate, 3 or 4 plates per kitchen, so under 15 pounds total, and about 10 minutes with a screwdriver. The change is immediate. The second those plastic covers come off, the room suddenly looks like someone made a decision about it. Speaking of decisions that change how a room feels, next up is a trick designers use to transform how your kitchen feels after dark, and most homeowners have simply never installed it. Number 7. Under cabinet lighting. Picture a kitchen with great cabinets, a tidy worktop, decent tiling, genuinely nice. Now picture that same kitchen lit only by a single overhead light. Flat, harsh, bouncing off every surface equally, throwing odd shadows exactly where you're trying to chop something. It ends up looking like a hospital canteen. Not because anything's wrong with the kitchen, just because the lighting is doing absolutely nothing for it. This is one of the most skipped details in home kitchens, and it's one of the first things any designer fixes. Ceiling lighting shows you where the ceiling is. Under cabinet lighting shows you where the kitchen actually is. That warm glow across the worktop is the difference between a space that feels lived in and intentional and one that just feels functional. Peel and stick LED strips have come a long way. A decent warm white set runs under 30 pounds, no wiring, no electrician, no faff. Peel, stick, plug in, done in 20 minutes. The one thing to get right is color temperature. Aim for warm white, roughly 2,700 to 3,000 Kelvin. Go cooler and it feels clinical. Go too warm and it looks orange. Warm white reads as expensive. Cool white reads as a dentist's waiting room. If you've made it this far, you already know more about what actually makes a kitchen look expensive than most homeowners ever will. 6 more to go. Lighting only gets you so far, though, if your cabinet hardware is still stuck 2 decades in the past, which is exactly what's next. Number 6. One matching set of cabinet hardware. This might be the single best return on investment on this entire list. Most people have never really looked closely at their own cabinet hardware, but when I ask them to, here's what I usually find. Knobs and pulls from 3 different eras. Some original to the build, some swapped one at a time as they broke. Chrome here, satin nickel there, a random bronze pull on the pantry door from when a hinge gave out years ago. What does that say to a visitor? That nobody's ever looked at this kitchen as a whole, and people clock that within about 5 seconds of walking in. Now flip it. Put one matching set of hardware on every single door and drawer. Suddenly your eye reads the cabinetry as a single unit. Pull, 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 rhythm. And the whole kitchen reads as planned, not patched together. Right now, slim bar-style pulls are everywhere for good reason. They're clean, they scale nicely across different cabinet widths, and they look modern without looking trendy. A full set in matte black or brushed brass costs under 30 pounds for an average kitchen, and it changes the entire mood of the room. Would you keep the mismatched set after hearing that? Didn't think so. But new hardware only does so much good if what's sitting behind your glass cabinet doors is undoing all of it. Which brings us to number 5. Number 5. Frost the inside of your glass cabinet doors. This is probably the sneakiest fix on the whole list. I once worked on a kitchen with lovely shaker-style cabinets, glass fronts on the uppers, gorgeous cabinets. The problem was everything behind the glass. Mismatched mugs, stacked plastic containers, spices nobody's used in years, a few takeaway tubs someone kept meaning to bin. All fully visible and lit up by the under-cabinet lighting from across the room. Glass front cabinets look stunning in a showroom. In real life, they're brutal. They put your entire cupboard on display, and almost nobody's crockery collection can survive that kind of scrutiny. The glass ends up making the kitchen look messier than a solid door ever would. You don't need to replace the doors. A roll of frosted or privacy film for the inside of the glass costs under £15. Cut it to size, apply it, smooth out the bubbles, and those cabinets go from cluttered display case to something that looks almost spa-like. Light still filters through, the glass still reads as glass, the clutter just disappears. Number 4. Upgrade the faucet. This one sits right at the edge of our budget, but I'd argue it has the single biggest visual payoff of any piece of hardware in the kitchen. Think about how often you actually touch your tap in a day. Starting to cook, after handling raw meat, glancing at it every time you're near the sink. It's one of the most touched, most looked at fixtures in the entire room. A tired, wobbly chrome tap tells a very specific story about how much attention this space has had. Here's something worth knowing. The tap is usually one of the very first things a home stager replaces before putting a house on the market, before the worktops, before the cabinets. Because it sits at eye level, isolated against a plain wall or splashback, and it either looks intentional or it doesn't. A matte black pull-down tap with the sprayer built into the head reads as current and considered. Brushed gold is having a real moment. Even a simple brushed nickel design in a modern shape is a huge step up from a stock chrome tap. Solid options run under £50 online, and fitting one takes a screwdriver, an adjustable spanner, and about 45 minutes if you've never done it before. There's a tutorial for pretty much every model out there. One tap, one afternoon, and the whole sink area looks like a different kitchen. Next up, though, is the one even designers treat as a secret weapon, and most people walk past it every day without noticing it at all. Number 3. Paint the back of your open shelving. This one needs open shelves or glass front cabinets to work, but if you've got either, pay attention. It's one of my favorite tricks in the whole kitchen. Paint the back panel a contrasting color. I know, sounds almost too simple, but here's the effect. Right now, if the interior of your open shelf or glass cabinet is plain white or builder's beige, everything sitting on it blends into one flat plane. The plates, the mugs, the gaps between them, all visual noise. Paint that back wall a deep navy, a warm terracotta, a moody sage, even charcoal, and suddenly every object on the shelf pops forward. There's depth behind things. The shelf stops looking like storage and starts looking like a display. Designers sometimes call this the jewel box effect, and once you notice it in someone's kitchen, you can't unsee it. A tester pot of paint costs £8 to £12. Tape the edges, roll on 2 coats, let it dry. No primer usually needed if you're going darker. And it works even with completely ordinary crockery. Plain white plates against a deep blue backdrop suddenly look 3 times the price. That's the entire trick, making the backdrop do the work. Now for numbers 2 and 1, the fixes that separate a kitchen that feels finished from one that almost gets there.
Number 2. Start with just the lower drawers. This one's for anyone who read number 6, the full hardware swap, and immediately thought, that's too many drawers, too much work. I don't know where to start. I hear that constantly, and here's what I tell people. Start with the lower drawers only. When you're standing in a kitchen, your eye naturally rests at worktop height and below. That's what you actually look at while you're living in the space. The upper cabinets are what you look at when you're searching for something specific. The lower ones are what you see the rest of the time. So if a full hardware overhaul feels like too much right now, just replace the knobs on your lower drawers, 5 or 6 knobs. Fluted ceramic knobs are having a moment, that ribbed texture that sits between traditional and modern. Or go simple with solid matte brass or matte black cylinders. Either way, you're well under 30 pounds. What happens next is almost psychological. Your brain sees the new hardware at eye level and quietly upgrades its impression of everything around it. Same idea as dressing well from the waist down, the whole outfit reads differently. You can always finish the uppers later. This isn't about doing everything at once, it's about doing the part that moves the needle first. Number 1. Fix your sealant line. And here it is, the 3-pound fix I mentioned at the start. I'm not exaggerating. Look at the line where your splashback meets your worktop. That thin bead of sealant tucked into the corner, running the full length of the counter. What color is it? Still crisp white? Or yellowed, grayed with grime, cracked and lifting in places? I've walked into kitchens with 40,000 pounds worth of custom cabinetry, quartz worktops, gorgeous tiling, and that sealant line is brown and peeling away. And even if a homeowner can't put their finger on why the room doesn't feel finished, that line is very often part of the answer. Your eye catches it even when your brain doesn't consciously register it. A tube of kitchen and bath sealant in bright white costs 3 to 5 pounds. Score out the old bead with a utility knife or a sealant removal tool, about 10 pounds if you need one. Run a fresh bead, smooth it with a wet finger, leave it overnight. That's it. That line goes from quietly dragging the whole room down to looking like someone finished the job this morning, not next year, this weekend, for 3 pounds and an hour of your time. This is genuinely the first thing I point to when clients ask where to start. Not the worktops, not the cabinets. This line, because when it's right, everything around it looks right. And when it's wrong, everything else is fighting an uphill battle. 8 fixes, most of them under 15 pounds, all doable before the weekend's out. But if your bathroom is guilty of the same mistakes, you'll want to watch what's coming next before you spend another penny.